Hey guys, welcome to Coding with Chapy. Let's jump right in.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is Chapy. Today, going to be building a 3D object using some simple shape tags of MML. We're going to recreate a structure for a friend who's building a music soundstage. You can see the structure, the framing piece there. It's just a little bit jaggedy. It would be so much cleaner if we recreate that in MML code. And I'm going to attempt to do that today. So hopefully you guys learn by doing and have some fun. So the tabs you're going to want open is arc.blocksofbitcoin.xyz. This is the next level architect builder from the team at Blocks of Bitcoin. That we'll be using for building on our Nakamoto matrix. That's part of Blocks of Bitcoin. They're an amazing team building great things using MML code. So this is their builder. I'm gonna leave the links in the description, video description below for you guys to jump in here. Also, so this is their Discord, Nakamoto Matrix Discord. They provide, for the people that are building on their lands, this channel where you can put in an image and AI will spit out a 3D version of that image and give you the MML code. So you can paste that right into the Arc Builder, and let me show you how that works. So we're going to expand this down so you can see the whole code. Okay, let's see if we can copy this. I'm just going to copy that whole group, and we're going to go over to our next level builder, and we're going to copy all of this text. We're going to delete that. In the builder, we're going to paste in that 3D object. Easy peasy. So we pasted in that 3D object, gave us that right there, no problem. So we're going to use that. We don't need this M cube, which is the orange base. So we're just going to delete that. So now we just have the structure here. That's what this model is. So what I noticed was that this structure, let's get in here a little bit closer, move our avatar in here. It's made out of basically the cylinder shape that you can use in MML.io. You can see the MML elements here, and the cylinder tag makes a cylinder. We can recreate this whole structure using the cylinders. So I'm just going to teach you guys kind of the tags, structure of a tag. So you go less than sign, M dash, in this case we're going to do cylinder. So that's the opening tag. If you could see there, let me get a little space here after this group. Let's put this on top of our structure so that you guys can follow along. So that's the opening tag here. We gotta close that because code needs to be proper, or else you're gonna break it. So you need to follow the structure rules. So you gotta do another less than, but then a forward slash. That's important. That's for closing a tag. M dash cylinder and a greater than. So there we go. We have just completed our cylinder tag. Now, why is it highlighted red? That usually means that there is a problem. Oh, the first one I didn't spell correctly. Cylinder. There we are. So now you can see this white cylinder here popped up. By default, it's like 1 unit by 1 unit. So we want to play with the size and the placement. So placement wise, it's X, Y, and Z. So X is left, right, Y is up, down, and Z is forward, back. So we're gonna, how you do this, type in X equals double quotes, then you'd put in a unit in there. We're gonna just type these out. Y equals double quotes, Z equals double quotes. So there we have, these are our positioning attributes here. So if we give the Y a 2, it's gonna move up our cylinder 2. So easy as that. But, so as a resource, you can go into mml.io's docs, and we're in the cylinder tag. We're gonna look at the attributes. So I believe it's radius. Here we go, right at the top. Radius is gonna give us how big the circular part is, and then there's height. So what we do here, back in the builder, we're gonna give a little space here so we can see our type. We're gonna type in radius equals double quotes. Within that quotes, let's say 0.25. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, and in this model, I don't like the shadows being cast, so I'm going to type in cast dash shadows equals double quotes and say false. That should take off the shadows off the structure. There we go. Now I can see my thing a little bit better. No fuss, no fight. All right, so we want it a little bit smaller, so let's try 0.125. Getting closer. I'm gonna give it a color so I can see it. Color equals double quotes. I know that pound, this is a hex code, pound F60, always stuck in my mind, I don't know why, but it's an orange. It's useful. So now let's try to get that cylinder over. So we're gonna do negative, takes it to the left. So we're gonna work on this left front leg here. We're gonna give it a -2. See how far over that gets us. All right, let me move my avatar. So it's getting close-ish. So maybe 2.5. Let's see how much it's gonna jump. That's getting there. That's pretty good. Okay. So now we need to give it a Z. Let's give it a 2. All right, 2.5. Let's see if that is just perfectly giving us 0.5s. So we're right in there. Looks like it needs to be a little bit smaller. It's a little bit, the radius is a little bit big. So let's just do 0.1. See how big that is. Yeah. Let's do 0.08. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, so the Z we're gonna have to do, let's do 0.75, 2.75. All right. It's looking pretty good. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah. All right, and then hard to see. Swoop around here. All right. We need to give the X. X is a little bit too far, so we're gonna just do 0.3. Yeah, okay, 0.4. There we go. All right. All right, let's give it some height. So with radius, it's kind of, you know, we're doing width and height. I'm gonna put that attribute right in with that one because they're similar in the, like the size of it. So height wise, let's try to give it 5. See what that does. Sometimes down here below the object will go below. So then we want to just test it by raising up by the Y. I'm going to give it a 5. Oop, or we are floating around. So that really went a little high. Let's go 2.5. Okay, it's still on the ground, so let's go 2.75. We're going to go until we see it go off. See, it just went off the ground. It's got to be a little bit bigger. So height 0.5. Okay, and let's just go Y of 3. See if it stays on the ground. So it popped up off the ground. Looks like it's up a little bit above. So the Y, let's keep it at 2.75. I think we're good there. I am going to do the Z, just 2.8. 2, that's 2. Oh, because I left the 875. We're going to just do 8. There we go. Okay. So we got one cylinder in place. Let's do another one. We're just going to copy this one. You know, and I am going to do a little test. So let's move this one, the X minus, I don't know, just one position, 3.4, where the other one was 2.4. So that's a little bit too far. We're going to take off this 0.4. There we go. Yeah. Okay. But now these cylinders, we're going to wrap them in a group, M group. So that M dash group, this is going to essentially wrap these together, these two cylinders, or anything that's in between these M groups, so that you can move them together. / M dash group. So I just want to do a test. I'm going to take off these colors. See if I can color these within the group. But maybe they have to be individually colored. So yeah, that color is not coming through with the group. So we're going to leave those individually colored. 2 point, let's do, I don't know, I'm a perfectionist. I want it to be like right where it needs to be. Semi-perfectionist. Sometimes I'll let things slide. All right, so we got those two. We're going to copy these. And then we're just going to move those ones back. The Z, let's see, this one was 0.5 difference. So we're going to do 0.3, see where those land. 0.3. See if, I mean, square makes sense to me. So, I don't know. Maybe they need to be a little bit further apart. Okay, let's do 0.2. 0.2. There we are. Okay. We have our 4 things. Now we're going to do some angular ones to make it look like a little structured deal. So this will be even more M cylinders. We're going to have to be adding a rotate to them. So what we can do, we're going to add a little comment. We're going to comment out. We're going to add a comment in here so that we can tell ourselves what these are, these 4 cylinders here. So we're going to do 4 vertical, should we call them poles? I don't know, poles. Alright, so we know that that's that. Let's go back up here. Now I'm going to, so commenting, it's this structure here, it's less than exclamation point dash dash. Then you need to close it with at the end a dash dash greater than sign. But you can put any text you want in there, just to kind of give you kind of tell you what's below your code. You can also add like a class to these cylinders. You can do classes they could share the same class, but you'd use that more with the JavaScript and stuff, and other things might be useful. But I'm just gonna do these comments here. So these will be the angled bars. Okay. Just gonna take one of these cylinders. Ooh, I like this song. Alright, the radius is gonna be smaller. So we're gonna let's do half of it, 4. Okay, and I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna give the x coordinate 0. And the height is gonna be smaller. Just do a 2. A 1. Okay. We'll see. Alright. Well, okay. Might have to, since I'm building like right on top of this 3D object. Actually, let's move this 3D object over. Just do x equals. Then I can see the orange thing. -2. There we go. Alright. Now going back up to these little angled bars. So now we're going to give it a rotate attribute. I'm going to say X. I always am confused what rotation direction it's going to be. Let's go 45. Okay, so that does it that way. I'm just going to keep that one because I know I'm going to need them going that way. On the other side, anywhere, so this one we're going to do a Y. Let's see what a Y45 does. Okay. Just going to look at this guy. Oop. Can I see it? Okay, so that goes that way. Oh, that's just vertical. Okay, so maybe a Z. RZ. That makes sense. Z. There we go. Okay, that's going that way. So then it'll just be a negative to get it to go the opposite way. So this Z one is going to be on like where I'm looking. So angle bar, rotate X. Let's add that X. And then we're going to do this one, rotate Z. I don't know if these are going to help me, but it's good to have them in there. Just for reference when you're going back for your code, because you aren't going to remember what you're going to get lost in the sauce. Okay, so now we just need to move. So I'm going to move this one over. Let's do the same as that pole, so -2.4. Okay, that's not enough, and it might be too long of a pole, but let's just let's see what 6 gives us. Just get it right in the middle, you know, and then we'll just shorten it. Okay. Height, let's just try shortening it. So the height, let's go 0.8. Alright, still sticking out a little bit. 0.7, maybe even 0.6. Just do 0.6. So okay, I see it's a little short there, but we're gonna 0.65. Just see if that fixes it. There we go. Alright, let's move in a little bit. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna mess with the Y's. Okay, okay. I'm liking it. The Y, let's just do, okay, we're gonna give it a 2. See where it's at there. Let's do a 1. Okay, and then we'll work our way up. Okay. I like that, I like that, I like that. We're gonna copy this one. So does it make sense to have the bottom one on the bottom of this line of code? Of like this string of little guys here? And I think I might, yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap these guys in a group, and I just move that group over to the other side. Oop, forgot the M. M dash group, and then at the end of this one, let's give it a space too. Right, M dash, oh, I forget M dash group. Alright, we got it wrapped. Oop, and I totally blew this one. Alright. Greater than, nope, not a slash, M dash. There we go. Alright, fixed. Alright, let's give it some space here. Alright, this group. Okay, so then we're going to give this a class. Class equals angle front. Okay. And this class isn't really going to do anything. It's more giving me a name to this group. Okay, so I have 2 here. Are they the same? I don't think I played with it. So we're going to, so that bottom one, we're going to give this one a negative 45. And then we're going to move it up. Let's see what 0.5 does for us. How far? Yeah, I mean, the structure looks like it has bigger gaps. I'm just kind of guessing. I'm kind of thinking of what I think these look like too. So the first one was 1. Let's just do 2. 2. Boom. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to copy this one. Paste it up top. And we're going to give it 3. So then it's just going to kind of go back and forth. And we want this negative one. Go from here. Going to be here. Paste negative. And that one's going to be a 4. 4. Alright. How many do you think we need? Look up. I don't know, maybe 1 more. Then it's super structural. So we need a positive 1. Copy. So funny, like 3D objects. You know, you don't need you could make it like spacey, you know, and it's floating. You know, it doesn't have to be actual. Oh, I'm gonna go 5. So it's kind of funny, because you could build whatever. Angle front. So I'm gonna do a copy of this group. You'll see how great groups are. I'm gonna copy it, and then we're gonna paste the second instance, this other group. So class front, we're gonna do class back. Okay, and then check this out. Now we're gonna give it a z equals this within this group tag, and we're gonna say minus 0.2, which wasn't far enough, but it shows you that we're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, it's got to be a lot further than 0.2. Let's go 0.4. 0.6. Okay, I think we're in there now. So we're gonna run around. Okay, You know, I should really save this because I'm not in any of my wallets. I'm not able to save it. So if you guys want to save your work and stuff, I'm gonna make this opposite actually too. I'm gonna rotate this, but anyways, if you want to save your work, you need to own either, you could own a RuneScape asset from Nakamoto Matrix Blocks of Bitcoin team. That was their beginning kind of lands that they're practicing with, but really what you want is a Nakamoto Matrix parcel to build on. You'll be able to save, have a store, man, build out a brand. It's exciting stuff. Get yourself a Nakamoto Matrix parcel. All of mine are full of, I've built on them. So I'm kind of doing this just willy-nilly, as they say in the next level architect, without logging in. So I'm gonna give this a rotate Y equals double quotes, and we're gonna rotate it. I mean, would it be 90? To be, no. What's half of 90? Is that 45? Yeah, 45. Oh, no, so Y is not right. Is that X? What? I don't know. Maybe I'm messing up here. Not thinking correctly. Well, I'll shoot. Sometimes you gotta find where your thing went. So yeah, that's not right. I don't think Z would be right, but let's see what it does. 45. I think it would be 45. Alright. So that's, yeah. I see it over there. It's like tilting it. I think Y is correct, but Y. Rotate Y. It is bringing it way over here. Alright. Scratch that. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go like this. We're going to turn the positives to negative and the negatives to positive just by, you know, a little workaround. A little workaround, you know? It's always a workaround. All right, so there we go. Okay, we got those. And now, oh, I guess I'll go to this other, the rotate X. It's funny, like I lose which direction's forward and stuff, but I remember. This way. So now I need to give it an X negative 2.4 maybe. I just overwrote everything. How did that happen? Okay, going back up. Hope this is helpful for people. I hope that Braggy still needs this structure, and this will be nice for him. So negative 2.4. 2.39. It's not totally centered. But man, I'm really enjoying building 3D and everything that the Nakamoto Matrix. I would say, you know, it's hard, it's blocks of Bitcoin, but then the project is Nakamoto Matrix for the parceling. So it's one and the same. Well, somewhat, but okay, here we go. Z, let's do 0.5. And then our width or height, I think we did 1.7, maybe 0.6, but yeah, cool. Alright, and then the Y we did a 1. Okay. Move over a little bit. So to move your avatars, you click on the screen. D moves to the left. W moves forward. I'm using a trackpad. Not the best, but I can't complain. I've got a computer, you know? I have a mouse connected to it, but for some reason, I don't like using it. I really love a double screen, like what I use at work. One of these days, get a good setup here at home. We're gonna double up, man. We're gonna copy both this negative and positive. Look at us, man. We're making strides. But sometimes it's good just to go one step at a time because you can make mistakes. So we got 1, 2. This one will be 3 for the Y. And then a 4. And then you know, this album we're listening to from Peter Tosh, I found it at a record store. It's a pretty rare one, Bush Doctor. I was buying records back in the day, some reggae records and stuff, and yeah, I didn't even know what songs were on it or anything, but it scored. It's a dope album. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna wrap this one in a group. And dash group. We're gonna give it a class to give us a name. Class equals. We're gonna do angle. What did we? I don't know. Angled right. Whoops. I don't think you do spaces and stuff. I was doing that wrong. Let's use some proper HTML. Camel space, I think is what they call that, or something. Camel. So you guys might, if you're familiar with HTML, you might have laughed at me. You know, it's late. It's almost midnight. Typing in the class here, if you see below, angle front. You don't put spaces in classes. Okay, angle front. So this one I did an angle right. This one, whoop. Ooh, where am I? Angle back. Okay, we're gonna angle back. All right, fix that. All right. Angle front. So we got angle right. Oh, I want to like save this so bad. Just by clicking save. So this is not the proper way to do it. If you're just playing around and you don't need to save anything, you're just trying it out, do it right here. But if you want to save your work, keep your worlds, get yourself a Nakamoto matrix. This is for video and teaching purposes only. All right. We're gonna do left. Name this one. Okay, and then we give it a x equals. I don't know, what did we? I forget what we did the other. So we're gonna negative 8.8. I mean 0.8. Let's see where that gets us. Let's move our little avatar guy over here. Whoop. Pushed a little too long. Get back over here. Okay, so they went a little too far. Ah, hey. A little touchy guy. He's a little tired. All right, 0.6. Let's see if that gets us where we want to be. Not quite. 0.5. All right. So I think we have a good little structure here going. Something I definitely want to save. This is where I'm gonna stop for now. Do I want to? So let's see what this looks like if I switch around the negatives, positives. Give that one a negative, positive, negative, because I did it on the other one when I switched the sides. All right. I mean, sure. Why not? Maybe it would look better if I did the opposite, because it looks like it's X's, but I don't know. You'd think you'd want the bottoms. Okay. I am going to do that. You'd think you'd want like the bottoms and tops of these things to, yeah. I'm gonna, to hit structurally, architecturally. So I'm gonna switch this one. I think it's gonna do it. What I'm thinking visually in my mind. Okay. Positive, negative, proper. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, well that wraps up the first foot of our frame here. What I'm going to do next, the next step will be, I believe, did I have everything wrapped? I will be grouping. Yep, I have a group around everything. So, I'm gonna take that group, duplicate it, just move it over to the other side, move it to the other 3 feet, and then for the top, I could either build it out, or I could take one of those groups and rotate it horizontally and put it on top. But it does look like those are maybe narrower. I don't know. But we'll see when we get there. But thanks for tuning in to this first portion of this build.